Hello, I'm Damian Mandola. Today we're making chicken Parmesan. We're going to use a breast of chicken. We're going to serve this with a side of fettuccine alfredo. Okay? Now our chicken Parmesan, the first step is to bread the chicken. So, we have a nice breast of chicken. We want to put our chicken breast between two pieces of plastic, and with a flat mallet, not the tooth mallet, pound our chicken to about 1/4 of an inch thick. Be careful not to tear the chicken. Okay, now that our chicken is about 1/4 of an inch, remember we season as we go. So we're going to take a little kosher salt, a little fresh ground black pepper. We like to use kosher salt because it's not iodized and it's easier to sprinkle. So it's kind of a little coarser than iodized your normal table salt. And we always use fresh ground black pepper. This pepper was ground just a few minutes ago. Freshly ground pepper has much more pungent flavor and aroma. Now that our chicken is pounded, seasoned, we're going to go using one hand, keep the other hand clean, flour, all-purpose flour. We have an egg wash we've made with 2 eggs and 2 tablespoons of milk. And we have our Mandola's secret formula seasoned breadcrumbs. I'm flattening the chicken even a little bit more. Take it out, shake, get all the excess breading off, and there you have your breaded chicken breast ready to be cooked. Be right back. Okay, now we're ready to cook our chicken Parmesan. A 1 ounce ladle, place it over a medium flame, and get that oil hot. In the meantime, while our oil is getting hot, we're going to have a side order of fettuccine alfredo to go with this. So, we want to get our cream and butter ready and cook it. Okay, so for a half water, a 1 ounce or 1.5 ounce rather, ladle of heavy cream, a little black pepper, a little salt. Remember, Parmesan cheese, Romano cheese is a little salty. And we're going to add a 1.5 ounce scoop of butter. We're going to get that heating up. And we're going to let that reduce a little bit. Once you see that your oil is kind of rippling and it's hot, we're going to add our chicken. 2 minutes. You should have a nice golden brown on that side. Oh, look how beautiful. There you go. So when you flip the chicken over, we're going to drain a little bit of that oil off. Most of it, actually. While it's cooking on that other side, we're going to take a little shredded mozzarella. Now we do our chicken Parmesan a little different. A lot of people will put the tomato sauce on first. We like to put ours on last so that the chicken breast stays kind of crisp. The mozzarella kind of protects the chicken from the sauce and getting soggy. My cream is kind of reduced a little bit with my butter from my Alfredo. I'm going to turn that off. Thank you, Adrian. Now we're going to take this, we're going to pop this in a 500-degree oven for a minute or two, just until the cheese melts and the chicken finishes cooking. Now while the chicken's in the oven, we're going to make our fettuccine alfredo. We take some of our fresh pasta. That's about 2 ounces of pasta, maybe a little more. And we're going to drop them in salted water. When you cook pasta, the water should always be 2 things. Boiling, 3 things actually. Boiling vigorously, salted like the sea. For every gallon of, or 6 quarts of water, you should have 3 tablespoons of salt, preferably sea salt or kosher salt. And you have to have plenty of salted water. Like I said, 6 quarts per pound of pasta. We have these big boiling machines here at Mandola's that are basically just a big deep fryer that's been converted into a boiler to boil pasta. We salt our pasta, we salt our water rather, to make sure. Now this pasta is a fresh pasta, and it should take no more than about 1.5 to 2 minutes to cook. By that time our chicken should be ready. My chicken's been in that oven now about 1 minute and 30 seconds. Let's check on it. Beautiful. So it's kind of bake frying in the oven now. Just leave it in our pan so it stays warm. Meanwhile, let's get our cream going. Put it back on the flame. Let's check our pasta. Ah, looks good. I think it should be about ready. Let's drain the pasta well. Put it in our cream. We always want to toss with the cream and butter first. Then add a nice scoop, about 1 ounce of fresh grated Parmesan. Sometimes we use a lot of Romano here because I'm more of a Romano guy, even though that's not classic Alfredo. Classic Alfredo is Parmesan, but it is, Romano is a Grana cheese, so it is similar to Parmesan, maybe a slightly salty, slightly more salty and a little more tart. So there we have our Alfredo side. Here we have our chicken. Here we have our warm plate. Now we're going to plate the dish. Chicken Parmesan. Place it on the plate. We're going to take a small ladle of Mandola's famous marinara and not drown it with marinara, just a nice, so you get to see some of the cheese and you definitely get to see some of that wonderful golden brown chicken. We'll like to take our Alfredo out with, and if your Alfredo looks a little dry, it's dried up a little bit on me, I'm going to touch it up with a little cream. We spare no expense at Mandola's. Heavy cream, great butter, fantastic cheese. We pile it up nice and high on our plate. Nice and creamy, but not drowning in sauce. The misconception is that Italians use a lot of sauce. They do not. Pasta is just coated very nicely. And even a little sprinkle of Romano or Parmesan on top, kind of showing through the tomato sauce. And there you have Mandola's famous chicken Parmesan. Let's taste it. This is the best part of the deal. You always have to taste the end result. Get a little of the tomato sauce, a little of that cheese. So this is a lighter version of chicken Parmesan, not that really heavy baked version with lots of tomato sauce and tons of cheese where you really don't taste the chicken. You know what? It's great to be Italian. Thank you for joining me today. We'll see you real soon with another Mandola's recipe. Ciao.